Ever wondered why your favorite romantic comedies have started feeling a bit different lately? Before we continue, remember to subscribe for more videos. Now, romantic comedies, or rom-coms as we lovingly call them, have been a staple in our cinematic diet for decades. They've given us iconic moments, memorable quotes, and a whole lot of love. But like the seasons, they've been changing, evolving, and growing. Once upon a time, rom-coms were all about grand gestures, love at first sight, and yes, running through airports. They were sweet, charming, and a tad bit predictable. You could almost always bet on a dramatic confession of love, a happily ever after, and a whole lot of laughter along the way. But like any genre, rom-coms have had their fair share of critics. They've been accused of perpetuating stereotypes, promoting toxic romantic ideals, and painting a picture of love that's, well, a bit too rosy. In response to these criticisms, rom-coms have had to do some soul-searching. They've started exploring more complex and diverse relationships. They're not just about boy meets girl anymore. They're about human meets human in all the wonderful, messy, and complicated ways that can happen. At the same time, rom-coms have also started embracing more feminist themes. They're challenging the damsel in distress trope, putting women at the center of their own stories, and showing that love is not the only thing a woman needs to be happy. Take the recent films by Anne Hathaway and Meg Ryan, for instance. In The Idea of You, Hathaway explores themes of age difference and public scrutiny, while Ryan's What Happens Later reflects a complex relationship between the genre and gender advancements. But it's not just the storylines that have changed. The resurgence of rom-coms on streaming platforms has given filmmakers more freedom to experiment and push boundaries. They're taking risks, breaking norms, and redefining what a romantic comedy can be. Yes, folks, rom-coms have grown up, and they're not just about running through airports anymore. And who better to navigate these new waters than the queens of rom-com themselves, Anne Hathaway and Meg Ryan. Bouncing back into the romantic comedy genre, Anne Hathaway and Meg Ryan are both set to star in films that promise to be anything but conventional. Hathaway's upcoming film, The Idea of You, is a fascinating exploration of age difference and public scrutiny, a narrative that resonates quite powerfully with her own experiences. Remember the time when online backlash was her uninvited guest at every turn? Well, this film is a testament to her resilience and her ability to channel real-life experiences into her work. On the other hand, we have Meg Ryan gracing the genre once again with What Happens Later. Not much is known about the film yet, but we can bet it's going to shake up the rom-com landscape just as When Harry Met Sally did. And let's not forget, it's Meg Ryan we're talking about here. She's the woman who practically wrote the book on rom-coms, and she's back to add another chapter. These films are more than just comebacks. They are reflections of the changing contours of romantic comedies, which are now being shaped by the fourth wave of feminism. The genre, once criticized for perpetuating stereotypes and toxic romantic ideals, is now breaking away from the old mold. It's embracing complex narratives that reflect the realities of modern relationships, all while still keeping the essence of romance alive. In the midst of this transformation, Anne Hathaway and Meg Ryan are not just actors, but pioneers. They are taking the helm, steering the genre towards uncharted territories. In doing so, they're not only challenging the status quo, but also redefining what a rom-com can be. So brace yourselves for a rom-com revolution, led by none other than Anne Hathaway and Meg Ryan. But what does all this have to do with the fourth wave of feminism, you ask? Well, let's dive into it. Rom-coms have always had a unique relationship with societal norms, often reflecting and sometimes challenging them. With the advent of the fourth wave of feminism, this relationship has become even more intriguing. This wave is characterized by an increased focus on intersectionality and the use of social media for activism. And guess what? Our beloved rom-coms are riding this wave with grace and gusto. The fourth wave of feminism places a strong emphasis on giving voice to different experiences. It's all about acknowledging that women's experiences are not monolithic, but are shaped by various factors like race, class, and age. And this is exactly what we see in the new age rom-coms. Take Anne Hathaway's The Idea of You, for instance. The film explores themes of age difference and public scrutiny, reflecting the complexities of real-life relationships and societal expectations. This wave also emphasizes the importance of social media in driving societal change. Social media platforms are not just places to share cute cat videos anymore. They have become a powerful tool for activism. Similarly, the resurgence of rom-coms on streaming platforms has allowed these films to reach a wider audience and engage in a dialogue about gender norms and expectations. And it's not just about the reach. These platforms provide an opportunity for rom-coms to adopt a more nuanced approach to storytelling, allowing them to challenge stereotypes and toxic romantic ideals. Moreover, the fourth wave of feminism encourages women to be the heroines of their own stories, a sentiment that resonates with the evolution of rom-coms. Remember Nora Ephron's advice to be the heroine of one's life? Well, our modern rom-coms are certainly taking this advice to heart. So in a nutshell, your favorite rom-coms are now also a platform for feminist discourse. Talk about a plot twist. But let's not forget about the men. After all, it takes two to tango in a rom-com. As much as the romantic comedy genre has been a platform for female stars to shine, it's also a stage where the men have been asked to dance a different dance. Not the macho, chest-thumping dance we've seen in so many action flicks, but a subtler, more nuanced performance. The new masculinity demands more from our male stars than just a chiseled jawline and a brooding stare. The men of today's rom-coms are being asked to embody a new kind of masculinity, a shift away from the traditional macho roles to more sensitive and emotionally intelligent characters. They don't just sweep the heroine off her feet. They listen, they empathize, they show vulnerability. This isn't about being less manly. It's about being more human, more real. As society changes, so too does our perception of what it means to be masculine. The strong, silent type is being replaced by men who aren't afraid to express their emotions, to show tenderness, to be equals in their relationships. This isn't just a trend in rom-coms, it's a reflection of wider societal shifts in the perception of masculinity. In the rom-com world, our heroes are no longer just princes on white horses or billionaire bad boys. They're single dads, best friends, nerdy guys next door. They're real men dealing with real-life situations. They're men who respect women, not just as love interests, but as equals. They're men who aren't afraid to laugh at themselves, to be the butt of the joke, to show their softer side. And it's not just the characters that are changing. The actors themselves are embracing this shift. They're taking on roles that challenge the status quo, that show men in a different light, that give them the chance to explore their range as performers. So, to all the men out there, remember, it's not about being the tough guy anymore. It's about being real, being human, being emotionally intelligent. It's about showing that vulnerability can be a strength, not a weakness. So guys, it's time to ditch the macho act and embrace your sensitive side. Trust us, the ladies will love it. So what does all this mean for the future of rom-coms? As we look forward, it's clear that the romantic comedy genre is not just surviving, but thriving in this turbulent sea of social change. It's riding the waves, adapting, evolving, and growing in response to the shifting sands of societal norms and expectations. The return of rom-com queens like Anne Hathaway and Meg Ryan signifies a resurgence, not just in popularity, but in scope and depth. We're seeing a genre that's no longer satisfied with one-dimensional characters and predictable plot lines. Instead, it's embracing complexity, diversity, and authenticity. With the fourth wave of feminism washing over the shores of cinema, we can expect to see more nuanced portrayals of women. No longer just the damsel in distress or the manic pixie dream girl, female characters in rom-coms are becoming the heroines of their own stories. They're complex, flawed, and unapologetically themselves. But it's not just about women. The evolving genre is also redefining masculinity. The male leads are no longer just the charming playboys or the aloof bad boys. They're becoming more layered and realistic, embodying a new kind of masculinity that's sensitive, respectful, and emotionally open. As the genre continues to adapt to societal changes, we can anticipate a future where rom-coms are more than just a pleasant distraction, but a mirror reflecting our evolving understanding of love, relationships, and gender roles. The romantic comedy of the future will not shy away from tackling difficult themes and exploring uncharted territories. It's an exciting time for the genre, with the potential for more diverse and complex stories and characters. Streaming platforms are providing a new stage for these narratives, allowing for more creative freedom and a wider reach. And as for Anne Hathaway and Meg Ryan, we can't wait to see what they bring to the table in this new era of rom-coms. Who knows, maybe we'll even get a sequel to You've Got Mail, where they run an online book club together. Now, wouldn't that be something? So, did you like the video? Let us know in the comment section below. That's all for today. See you in the next one.